is worse than a heart attack.
Amazing. Now that's I tell you what, the song is called "The Sudden Cardiac Arrest Blues," and you may say that's a rather strange title, Hoss, for a song to play on the radio. Well, listen, there's a method behind it very specifically, and that's because our next guest that we're joining us from New Orleans. I guess you're around New Orleans right now. Good morning. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great on this Jazz Fest Friday.
Yeah, you're right. That's true, my friend. And listen, with us, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Maurice Trosclair. And, well, first of all, as a Louisiana music station, it would be fantastic just to have Maurice on to talk about his musical prowess. He is a great musician, but there's a whole lot more to the story that we're going to expand upon in just a little bit. But let's find out about the man first. Now, Maurice, you are a New Orleans native, right?
Yes, I am. I'm a trombone player. I was born and raised in New Orleans, and actually grew up playing traditional New Orleans jazz, and in the streets of New Orleans. And over the years, I've managed to play with a lot of well-known musicians here in New Orleans, including Delphio Marcellus and the Uptown Jazz Orchestra. I've toured with Bonarama.
Right.
I was the leader of the Nobles.
Okay.
Many years. I played with Storyville Stompers, and most recently I'm doing my own thing. This is not my first long album, LP, but it's the first one I've done in many years. And but yeah, I'm writing again, and I'm a trombone side band here in New Orleans, and it's a great place to be a musician.
Well, obviously, music has been a big part of your life for many, many years. Besides that, you went to, I believe, UNO, and as they say, in your day gig, you also kind of work in the what is it, geological kind of field? How do you describe that? What you do?
It's oil and gas industry. It's geological exploration,
okay,
technology, and I've always been able to do that during the day, and also enjoy my musical habit, my real passion, in the evening. So I had a day gig and a night gig. So they really did complement each other, and I've been able to play for many, many years, and it's.
Well, you do it well, man. I tell you what, on that song, that's you blowing that amazing trombone right there. So now that's all part of a collection that's called Grateful. That's kind of what we're here to talk about. And to lead into that specifically, now, the event that happened to you in 2017, which we're going to discuss now, is that when you got the nickname Miracle Mo?
Well, it was actually after that.
Okay.
What happened on Valentine's Day 2017, how my life was saved, was nothing short of miraculous. I basically had a sudden cardiac arrest that day. And I can just tell you a little bit how it happened, because it's really a crazy story. It was Valentine's Day. I was on an elevator going up to the health club to take a shower after running on the levee, and collapsed on the elevator.
Wow.
My wife was texting me at the time. I dropped my phone. Somebody picked up my phone before it locked itself and was able to call the last person I was texting, which happened to be my wife, who then listened for the next 15 minutes to my resuscitation live on that elevator.
Wow.
Anyway, it was a wild elevator ride. 2 citizen first responder, which happened to be nurses, did tag team CPR on the elevator. They were able to get an automated external defibrillator from the health club and shocked me once before even EMS arrived. So I was basically being kept alive by citizen first responders before EMS got there. EMS arrived, and they had to shock me 4 more times before getting me on a gurney and to the emergency room. There, 2 days in a coma. 2 days after that, I was released from the hospital neurologically intact.
Wow.
It was what they call a near perfect chain of survival. You had citizen first responders, you had EMS support, you had, available automated external defibrillator, a publicly accessible one, and then of course, advanced aftercare in the hospital and everything. And so it was almost a perfect chain of survival. And I left that hospital, 4 days later. Now, what happened after that kind of leads into what we're about to talk about, because I really didn't know how lucky I was, because only 1 in 10 people survive a sudden cardiac arrest outside the hospital.
Wow.
With 360,000 sudden cardiac arrests a year, that doesn't leave many of us walking around.
True.
And those of us who do survive, many of us have severe brain damage and can't go back to their daily lives. But for me, these quick-thinking citizen CPRs, an automated external defibrillator that was publicly accessible, EMS, they minimized any damage, and I was able to go back to my life again. And I was back to go back to my day job in geology, and even, play music again. And it was really, really a strange time in my life. But
absolutely wild. Well, now, look, that's not using the word miracle loosely. That is, I would say that's a pretty perfect description.
Yeah.
Now,
as for the nickname, when I got back on the bandstand with Delphio Marcellus and the Uptown Jazz Orchestra, Delphio likes to give everybody a nickname. We have the Dirty Old Man, we have Tip and John,
right.
We got Scojo, we got Speedo, and now we got Miracle Mo. All in fun. So they waited for me with open arms and got me back on a stage, and I was gigging again in a couple of months. Yeah.
Wow. So now, I guess the question, as we would want to know, is in that time afterward, when you realized, how did your life change?
Well, when you're released from the hospital, you really don't know what's next. I was left with a wearable defibrillator. Shock you at any time if your heart would stop. So therein lies, for 2 months I had to wear that, so you imagine the anxiety of that. Also, just wondering, do I have brain damage? Am I going to be able to work again? Am I going to be able to play music again? Am I going to be able to write again? And after a while, I sat down and I think when I reached out to other survivors and realized just how worse off they were, I realized how fortunate I was. So I said, let me see if I could write a tune that I could reach out to my fellow survivors to let them know that, hey, man, I feel you. I know where you are right now. And that was pretty much the genesis of the first song that I wrote for my album, which is You Are Not Alone.
Now, the album is called Grateful. That's the collection, Grateful, A Sudden Cardiac Arrest Survivor's Awakening. That's pretty self-describing. So at what point? Now, so this event happened in 2017. When did the genesis for the idea, hey, I'm going to put this project together, when did that all start?
Well, it happened, months later in that year. As I got better, we went out into the public, and I'm looking around, and I'm seeing, where are all the defibrillators, Knowing that if you have a public defibrillator accessible, you could save somebody's life. I mean, how many times do you hear, well, EMS, they didn't make it, Well, if you have a defibrillator available, then you can save lives. So we thought, my wife and I, maybe there's something we could do. And so I started writing this music, and we actually started our own nonprofit here in New Orleans called Heartbeat NOLA, where we teach. My wife is a certified teacher for CPR, and I do public speaking, and we actually installed 3 AEDs in the New Orleans area, one at Snug Harbor, one at Tipitina's, and one at Maple Leaf.
Wow.
And so we started in the music venues because, all the musicians that are dying these days, we need to preserve our culture bearers and our musicians for as long as we can. But I continued to write songs, and I wrote You Are Not Alone, and I said, well, let me write another one. And pretty soon I had 10 songs.
Wow.
And every musician I asked to be part of this project was like, absolutely, Mo, count me in. So I have 20 or so A-list New Orleans musicians on this recording, and they took my music and they absolutely brought it to life.
Now, we absolutely love Charlene Howard, obviously here locally. Our listeners are extremely familiar with Charlene, know her for her work on her own, working with TK Hewlett and many, many others in vocals and whatnot. Now, she does the vocals on this track that we're going to debut today. That is the Survivor's Anthem, You Are Not Alone, which you were just referencing a moment ago. How did you come to connect with her and select her for the vocals on this one?
Well, over the years, I've been playing a lot of small pop myself with Steve Adams, with Charlene, Bubba Boudreaux,
Sure,
Martinez, TK Hewlett, Gigi Shen. I'll get in the car, we'll drive out to Pat's in Henderson or any place in Southwest Louisiana. And so I got to know all these musicians and got a lot of great friends in that area. And when I wrote this song, the first person came to mind was Charlene. There was nobody that was going to give it the grace and the power that the song deserved. And last year at the Jazz Fest, she was playing on Beto Do stage with Greg Martinez. And before their set, I snuck backstage and I grabbed her. I said, Charlene, I want you to be on my album. And she's like, absolutely, bro, I'll do it.
Wow.
And so she came to New Orleans and we recorded it at Oak Street Recording Studio with Lou Rojas at the helm as engineer. And it was just magic. Every take she did was better than the one before it. And I'm telling you, I could not be more pleased with her performance, and it just moves you.
Wow.
It really does.
Now, you guys did a premiere the other night. Was it Thursday for the song? And is there a video that goes with it?
Yeah, yes, there is. We released it Tuesday night on YouTube. And it's funny, the sentiment of You Are Not Alone is strangely appropriate today as we find all of ourselves, hunkered down in quarantine and social distancing because of COVID-19.
Yep.
And a lot of musicians are reaching out on social media to try to reach people. And I'm thinking, you know what? I think this song has another calling. And so I made a point to, take some images of what New Orleans is looking at like right now with all the empty streets and gave a shout out to all the musicians and culture bearers here in New Orleans and the citizen first responders and healthcare professionals who are saving lives every day. And so it kind of had a double meaning, and I said, man, this song fits like a glove right now. Let's get it out there, and see if we can reach people and give some people some hope. And I just hope that it does.
I love it. Miracle Mo, we're talking to Maurice Trosclair. And look, our musicians who are listening, and many of them are listeners as well, they know you. But some of our other listeners may not be familiar. You're a man sort of behind the scenes, I guess, around here. But from New Orleans, Pigeon Town, UNO graduate, amazing musician and more. And yes, even more importantly, sudden cardiac arrest survivor. Now, the next question is, before we debut the song, the album Grateful, where do people get it? How do more people find out about the album itself and about sudden cardiac arrest? Maybe they have someone in their life that has been affected by this and they didn't know some of the resources and whatnot. Is there places they can get more information?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can go to heartbeatnola.org to get the CD, and all the proceeds from the sale of this album are going to heartbeatnola.org for our mission to make New Orleans and the surrounding areas a health-safe community. And it is our mission to make that happen, and so far we got a little groundwork on that. As far as sudden cardiac arrest information, yes, there's the Sudden Cardiac Arrest Foundation website you can go to for information on that. And there's a lot of resources out there, but there's very few of us survivors walking around because not many of us survive. So if you're a survivor out there and you want to talk and you want to, please call me. You're welcome to reach out to me on Facebook, at heartbeatnola.org, and I'd be happy to share whatever information we have about sudden cardiac arrest, because it is a leading killer in this United States and in the world, really. Actually right now I'm kind of one of the people most at risk, for this virus. So we're taking lots of precautions because, if you have cardiovascular disease, you probably won't fare too well if you were to get infected.
Right.
But anyway, a message to all of you survivors out there that you are not alone, and I'll be happy to share whatever information I have with you.
I love it. God bless you, brother. Grateful is the album, A Sudden Cardiac Arrest Survivor's Awakening. Pull up Maurice Trosclair on Facebook, or as he said, go to heartbeatnola.org. It's a great album. Now, the song we're going to debut today is amazing, featuring written by Maurice Trosclair with our very own Miss Charlene Howard on the vocals, and it's called You Are Not Alone. Maurice, thanks for your time. Amazing story. God bless you. Continued good health to you and the family, and much success. Thank you for sharing your story and everything with us here in Acadiana on KBON, my friend.
Thanks, Hoss. Be safe, brother.
God bless you. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, written by Mr. Maurice Trosclair, featuring Charlene Howard. You Are Not Alone on Louisiana Proud, KBON.
You are not alone. I feel your pain. I feel your hopelessness. You are not alone. We just have to breathe and try to carry on. It's a strange new world when you try to find life's meaning. It's something we may never know. We can sit and cry. We may never know just why we are still here. There's so much that we don't know.